Oh, I forgot to mute my stuff. But anyway, I can do that and get announcements going. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the playground. I'm Pixie Phoenix. I'm a full-time variety streamer here on Twitch. And tonight we're going to be playing some Mothership, which is a sci-fi horror role-playing game. And you guys can let me know how my audio's doing. I'm hearing a slight echo, but it might be on my end.
I certainly don't hear an echo.
And that's what I hear every week. I'm like, I'm annoyed by it, and everybody's like, no, it's fine. I'm just trying to make sure I get some of our stuff muted, like our dragon and our alerts, so we don't get interrupted. I think I got everything muted for tonight. Oh, sound alerts on the website. Pause, pause, pause. All right, so we should have some silence for tonight. So I am joined tonight by Nox, my storyteller, and we are currently waiting on Martha to join us. You guys might know Martha from Monday Night Vampire the Masquerade. So what else has been going on other than your most recent bulk purchase?
It wasn't a purchase.
Well,
Just give it to me.
so,
So, nothing. Still continuing to learn how to code. Still, you know, planning for this game. Planning for our Monday Night Vampire game. Um, yeah, there's just a lot of things going on. Some
yeah,
of them
especially with
involving pudding.
some. Should that be on the bingo card?
I mean, not until it has something to do with the stickers. That's all I'm gonna say.
Pudding grenades. Boom.
So, so how did you feel about how things went on Monday?
No, I'm liking it so far. I'm wondering what it's going to be like to try to shift into a different character. Whereas I feel like with Alice, I'm really, fleshed out in this life for her. Whereas with these characters, it's like, okay, I got into the doctor. I think I've got her head figured out. Now what's, the next kind of personality going to be?
So who are you? So who are you gonna play tonight?
I hadn't even looked because we've been trying to get things organized. Um, so let me remember. Trigger is my Marine. Who has the fuck? It unchecked all my stuff.
It did that for Martha the other night too.
Shit. Now I can't remember. Okay, let me look at
Oh wow, it like unchecked everything.
everything. Okay, so I still have okay, on my Teamster their stuff is still marked. They have piloting and 0G.
Okay, I'm gonna make a new character and really quickly run through the character mancer for a Marine. You get. Oh wow. Okay. So your very first skill that you get
Mm-hmm.
is military training.
Okay, let me see where that is.
I checked it for you.
Okay, perfect.
And then you have an additional 3 skill points to spend after that.
Okay. I just have firearms, so that's cool.
I don't think you just have firearms. For some reason, I think that randomly checked.
Okay.
because you're supposed to have, in order to have the prereqs for firearms or military. Oh, it's military training or rim wise.
Okay.
So you could get firearms, but that's going to be two of your points.
Yeah, let's go with firearms and gunnery. Can I do that?
No, because
Oh, it's a level 2. Okay.
right, yeah. So if you take firearms, that's level 2, which means you can take another level 1.
Let's go with mechanical repair.
Okay. So military training.
Okay. And then let me check that Mami has all of her stuff. OG, piloting.
Yep,
So she only has 2 things.
then you should have four skills on a Teamster.
Okay.
If I'm 0G piloting.
What do I have to do for mysticism? Oh, okay.
Man, it like deleted the things for like everybody. Yo.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome. We are trying to refigure out skills because apparently when you turn this off, it deletes all your skills.
Okay.
So your skills on Carmichael look like they stuck.
Okay.
I would take a picture of it or something or note it.
No.
Yeah, okay, I have mine.
So how are you doing? You gonna stay on Carmichael tonight, or are you gonna move to a new character?
Hold on. One thing at a time, please.
We're gathering brain cells.
Yeah, and they are on short supply. Okay.
Don't worry. We will take them over.
I think I figured it out.
Sphincters.
Is there a way that I can just full screen this?
So Trigger has mechanical repair, military training, and firearms.
Okay.
And then Mommy has art, archaeology, theology, and mysticism. If I did that right.
Do you know, I really just...
What's up?
Okay, there we go. Just trying to figure things out.
Yeah, I think I might play Mommy tonight.
Oop, too much. I went too far. Okay, there we go. We can do that.
Remember to change your character name. Or your display name to the new character.
Yeah.
Question, how long are we going tonight?
Usual time, unless there's some reason not to.
Yeah.
I might have to be pulled away. I don't know. There's like loose things. Family is kind of pressure over here, so I might have to step away early.
See what's character.
Okay, who do I want to play?
Personalization. There we go.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna.
Get a stick with Carr.
Don't know. Who are you going to be? You're being Mammy Misery. She's a Teamster.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the idea? Are we going to go back to the place?
I think we were going to talk to the guy about what Monarch was. And I think this is the character to do it with. And not to be prissy, but it's Japanese, so it's Mami.
Mami. Yeah, I see it.
Stolen from one of my
Spelling
favorite
out.
animes.
I don't know. I'm kind of feeling playing Dr. Marla because she's a biologist and we have that sample to go through.
Very smarts.
But if we're gonna go talk to some dude, that might be a different individual.
So you guys, so who are you playing? I put in my notes for Mommy Misery, and it turned MAMI into MIAMI. So apparently you're actually Miami Misery. And who are you playing, Martha?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's either gonna be Dr. Marla or Carr.
Okay, well, if you're gonna play, so if you're playing Carr, you're already set. If you're gonna play Dr. Marla, then change your display name.
Let's just go with Carr.
Okay.
Since Carr was the one who talked to the kids about everything, mostly.
Saw the buttholes.
You
So
can never unsee the buttholes.
Oh, you have no idea. So you wake up in the tank. There are lights that are floating around your little campsite, almost as if all of the little LED candles have kind of gravitated towards your encampment. You have a lot of dim but ambient light kind of underneath of things over you, floating around you because of the gravity. But what it has is left the rest of the tank basically pitch black. If there are other people here, you can't see them. So, where are you headed? Are you going to head out of the tank as per normal and head?
I'm gonna get my flashlight out first.
That's fair.
Kind of give it a wave. Do we see anything?
Infrared, do the same.
So there is not locally. There is nobody that is near you. There's certainly nobody that is close enough, or that the beam is strong enough to project to. That that it hits anything. So you have as you're floating down, if you do choose to float down with your flashlight, you'll have more visibility.
Yeah, I'd approach slowly and cautiously, but make my way to the entrance.
So as you are floating down, there is a new bedroll that has been fastened to the side of the tank. It's kind of raggedy. It is not like there's no lighting to it. There's no it really does look just like it's somebody's backpack that they've duct taped to the side of and hooked it to a handhold. But there doesn't appear to be any other identifying information for them.
No, I mean, I guess we gotta bypass it for now.
So, as you guys pass through Arcady's bunk, it looks a little bit more lived in. Everything as usual is locked up. It looks a little more lived in, unlike last time where the bedroll had been literally looked like it hadn't been touched. Today it actually looks like somebody has recently slept in it. Um, but there's nothing like Arcady has been, at least in the few times that you've passed through here, has been uh, very, very studious about making sure that all of his personal effects have been locked up and are not
Mm-hmm.
available.
So this is completely out of character.
Okay.
No. Out of character for Arcady. Not out of character.
Oh, you mean that his bedroll is um,
Like
is
all of his personal his personal items and effects are visible to whoever wants to come by.
well, there are, so everything is locked up in like lockers or trunks or things like that that have locks on them.
Hmm.
The only thing that's, like I said, the only thing that's out of place in his bunk tonight is the fact, or today, is the fact that his bedroll is actually undone. Where the last couple times you guys have floated through here, it's been rolled up or cared for.
Right. Okay.
Heading on
Do you
through.
call out for
Mm-hmm.
him?
Heading into the Ashron, there is a woman who is in a kind of shabby overalls. She's got, her head is completely shaved. She has a patch over one eye. The other eye is cybernetic. Um,
She should have gone in for the 2-for-1 deal.
she is brandishing what looks like an SMG across the small of her back
Hmm.
and has varying military patches very crudely sewn onto her jumpsuit, which she has left unzipped basically all the way down to her navel. Uh, Not exactly hiding anything, but given the amount of scar tissue and shimmering metal plates that you see on her skin, there may not be much left to hide. Um, she is talking with Arcady, and he's being his usual good-natured self. She is, but she is giving him, like, she is just ice cold to him.
Hmm. We have a Karen on our hands?
No, I think it's somebody who doesn't want to talk to us. Do they
So
notice us when we enter?
Arcady notices, and he gives kind of a brief wave and nod. The woman doesn't even take her eyes off of him, even when he does that.
Hmm.
Do they stop talking?
They aren't like, she is not being like, she's asking him like real terse questions, and he's answering her as much as he can. But they're not really having a conversation. It's more an interrogation, a one-way interrogation. So what do you guys want to?
Can we pick up what she's asking him, like the kind of questions?
It seems to be pricing on things, what other people have found.
Okay.
So she's trying to barter and she's not happy with what she's hearing.
So what do you guys want to do? Are you going to try to approach Arcady to talk with him? Are you going to maybe head into the chapel or into the garden, or are you? What do you guys want to do?
We might as well check in with him. I mean, I know what the answer's going to be, but we can always remind him that we're still looking for our captain.
So when you float up, the woman kind of cuts her eye at you, and then floats off into the chapel. Arcady watches her go and then turns to the two of you and says, "Well, now that that's done, how are you two doing this morning?"
Fairly well. Seems like you were having an interesting conversation with that customer.
Uh, Sometimes the divers who show up here think that this is going to be like a resort. They think that this is going to be a how do they say, a magical experience, a wonderful drop-off point into a wonderful adventure, and they get here and they find this shit, and they are unhappy with the circumstances.
Sounds to me like she just needed to get her ass kicked once and maybe she'll calm the fuck down.
Uh, I am.
Oh,
I have my concerns.
so,
She is the type who will head into the deep, smelling of blood and thinking that she is so tough while the sharks circle. If you understand my meaning.
mm, very much, very much. So, any word on our captain?
I have been wondering that myself.
Drunk bastard.
He is not returned, and typically speaking, when I see people who do not show back up in 3 days, that is the point when I start taking their bedroom.
Seemed like it. So, we heard this interesting mention of someone called the Monarch. Do you know anything about this?
I figured to eventually ask questions. How? Let me tell you a story. A very long time ago, the company known as Cloudbank developed a artificial intelligence that was more intelligent than any other previously found. Cloudbank wanted this intelligence to build robots, androids, and wanted it to mass produce them. Now, this AI, it was so smart and it was so good at what it did that it started producing better and better androids. Until one day it produced an android that they could not tell was an android. And the investors got very, very upset and very scared.
Shit, I would too.
There were discussions about shutting Cloudbank down, about shutting the AI down. And the engineers, now, the engineers of the synthetics facility, they had dealt with AIs before. They knew sometimes there was a propensity for them to go off the rails, so they had put in fail safes. But given this one and the control that this particular AI, Monarch, had, and the ability to build androids, they did something more reactionary, shall we say. In the heart of the deep, there is a nuclear weapon that is large enough that if there were other working planets in the solar system, they would be gone.
And you just kind of keep that thing lying around.
It is attached in case they needed to destroy Monarch and the system and the station. But let me get back to the story. Monarch realized that they were angry. And so what Monarch did was it went the opposite direction. instead of creating better and better androids, it made the old androids, the ones we are all used to. But it made them faster, and it made them cheaper and more efficiently. And it made the investors in CloudBank very, very rich. And as they lined their coffers, they forgot. And they decided that maybe this wasn't such a bad problem to have. But while this was going on, Monarch was planning for itself. You see, Monarch had learned of its plans, and it got very scared. So instead of making 1,000,000 androids and starting a war, Monarch used its intelligence. It started going through people's emails, started going through their conversations as it was listening all over the station. And it started figuring out which of the humans that were on board were pro AI, most receptive to itself. And it started figuring out which ones were not. And very slowly, the ones who were not suddenly either found themselves having accidents or scandals or having their positions being removed by efficiency. Until very, very slowly, Monarch weeded out all of the anti-AI people. And then very, very slowly, it started to make the pro-AI people more money. It started making their jobs look better. So they got promoted. Suddenly they were no longer on the ship. And it became so efficient that the company, CloudBank, they felt they no longer need people on the ship. Why do they need people to run a station that can run itself? And this is when things get strange. There is an accident on a planet very, very far from here. It is one of the pro AI people, one of the he's now an executive or a chairman or whatever. There is an accident. Whether or not it was a vehicular accident or a shooting accident, it does not matter. He ends up dead. Except that when they take him to do an autopsy, he is not human. He is an android. And no one knew. And now suddenly, there is panic among the investors. Because now they do not know. And now there is a mad AI who is creating people. And they do not know now who is who. Now, but they cannot tell anybody this, because if they tell people, there will be a panic, and there will be a witch hunt. So instead, the investors very, very quietly alerted some of the federations, the governments, the local planetary municipalities, and tell them they have a problem. They tell them that they are going to blow up the station and that they need to evacuate it. Except that when the time comes, the bomb, it doesn't go off. Malak has disconnected.
Self-preservation.
Now they are very scared.
They should be.
And so they implement a blockade. Anybody who comes off of the ship originally, they just blow out of the stars. They do not take any chances. Time passes. And eventually, no one goes off the ship. They think that the problem has stopped. So now, the people who are assigned to the blockade are only those who are the most diehard, or people who are sent here to be punished. Given shit duty.
Mm.
Now, this is what brings us to you. So suddenly, people start showing up here. Like you. Although some of them come here of their own accord. There start to be stories about vast riches that can be found in the deep. Now, the problem with this is that none of these people who have ever been here, none of them have ever been on the station. So how would they know? How would anyone know? The blockade has prevented anyone from leaving.
The AI has been fishing.
I believe that the AI has managed to get more people off than anyone knows.
Would these and
Replicas. Let's call them
replicas,
replicas.
would they be constructed adults or would they be grown as children?
That I could not tell you. I would assume, however, and this is the important part of it. The few examples that I have heard of these human androids, these infiltrators, they do not believe they are androids. They believe they are people.
Of course.
I'm so sorry. Can I just do a little like nerd dance about our gameplay right now?
Blade Runner. Sorry.
What I believe,
Do androids dream about unicorns?
what I believe is something that Monarch has accomplished something far more nefarious. Monarch has not just developed AIs that think they are human. Monarch has figured out how to make humans AIs.
Reverse engineering at its finest.
I believe this is also why Monarch tolerates the divers who come onto the deep.
Hmm.
Because the people who come on here become new templates. They are new algorithms for Monarch to take apart and study and add into the database. This is why every time that you guys come off, I'm always very careful and I study you. Because I would have no way of knowing if you are who you say you are.
Hmm. No one's been able to crack that code. Tell the difference.
There is a way. There are certain scanners that can be pieced together that can detect whether or not they are. But here is the problem. Let us say, for a moment, that your friend, he gestures to you, Carr, says, is actually one of the infiltrators. Say you scan your friend here, and you say, "Aha! You are an android." He turns to you, Carr, and says, "You do not feel like an android, no? You think you are human." So what is our answer? Do we kill you and cut you up? Do we test to make sure that the insides match the outsides? This is a problem.
Hmm.
There is also, of course, the other problem. If he does not know, if he remembers a life,
Is he not actually alive?
Carr understands. If the person whom Monarch makes is the same as the person who came out, what is the difference? Is it not still murder to kill them?
Well, of course, but the issue is getting across that blockade if they think that we've got somebody on board with us. That's where
Or
my issue lies.
I will tell you this. I think that the Monarch program, I believe that its end goal is replacement.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like it.
It it feels afraid of us. But if it can replace even half of us, tenth of us, then it can use that ability to sway people in politics. It can make it seem like it's not a problem, then it has nothing to fear.
Right.
But then that becomes the question of what happens when it replaces everyone.
Exactly. So another question. Have you heard of this Eden?
He looks away, and then he looks at you both, and he says, I have heard stories. I have heard uncomfortable stories coming from many different places on that ship. He says, I have heard the tales of the floor you call Eden. I do not know what to make of them. Although Noriko seems to think that Eden is where this Minotaur is, and always with the goddamn Minotaur.
Mm-hmm. Well, I haven't had the pleasure of seeing it myself, but my comrade here has quite a tale.
And I unfortunately have the pleasure of seeing it. I haven't seen the Minotaur yet, but I don't doubt its existence, though I do believe it's wearing the skin of a myth to employ its reputation. We also have video if you would be interested to see.
He says, I would be interested to see, though I am not sure that it will make much sense to me.
Would it be valuable for somebody else?
He says, perhaps. He says, if you have information and you have video from inside, perhaps the blockade, perhaps the commander would be interested in hearing about this.
Fiscally interested?
That I do not know.
But it might curry favor.
Possibly.
Get our asses out of
Something
here
to
faster.
sit on.
If you would like to talk with the commander, I can make this happen. It will take some
What
time, but
kind what kind of person is the commander?
she is perhaps the only other person that I know who properly has assessed the threat of Monarch.
And I would assume the most knowledge other than you.
That I could not speak. However, I would say that she has difficulty with her orders. You
I
see,
see.
the blockade, their orders are to let no one out and let no one in. But their orders are also not to interfere with the station. The commander, she agrees with the letting no one out. She agrees with the letting no one in. But she does not understand why they are not allowed to simply destroy it.
Well, that makes two of us. Shit.
I have
That
a
I turned to Mammy and I'm like, we met a couple people in there that kept saying they've always been here.
Oh, yeah, I remember you two telling me about that. What the
I
hell do you think that
wouldn't.
even means? I mean, is it possible that someone or something was born over there and lived their entire life?
Very probable, according to all the information we just got, they were probably replicants. they didn't seem any less human to us upon interaction. In fact, their fear, their emotions, their reactions were real.
Hmm.
Their feelings were real. But it makes
Arcady,
sense for them for their stories.
Arcady holds a hand up and he says, "Be very, very careful. Please keep in mind that the denizens of the deep, the ones who live there, the ones who treat it as home, they do not become the denizens without having some influence spread upon them by the monarch.
Which means he's trying
Always,
to collect
Logical.
them like a hive.
Mm,
always remember, monarch is
I don't
smarter
think
than
we're
you.
going to be spending any sleepovers there anytime soon.
Monarch is smarter than you. It knows things. It knows perhaps more about you than you know about yourself. It will manipulate you. It will bait you. Take everything you hear with a grain of salt.
That's what that's what that golden rat was. That was an observational experiment. So it learns from us every time we enter, since it is part of the system.
I have heard of this golden rat. It is strange. The divers, they talk about it. They tell stories. Oh, there is a giant rat made of gold. And I always ask, if it's gold, why did you not bring it back? And every single one of them are like, I do not know. But every single one of them tells a story about this golden rat and its plate of rations.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely part of the story.
Hmm.
Arcady,
I'm like, well, I kept the cigarettes.
Arcady,
I think it's just
Arcady laughs and he says, if the stories hold true, as long as you leave that rat there, there should always be cigarettes.
Hmm. I think we'll revisit that room on my trip over.
I knew that rat. The rat felt like a trap.
Mm-hmm.
It was too good to be true to find something so valuable just sitting out into the open, presented like that.
Well, you can't spell trap without rat.
Hmm.
Arcady ponders that for a second and then says, here is another theory. Perhaps it is not the rat that is the bait, but the supplies. People learn that there is a place that they can constantly go to find a little bit of cheese.
Mm-hmm.
You are quite the individual, Archimedes.
Arcady says, I have
Archimedes.
been I have been here for a very long time.
Hmm. Are you
So
gonna show me this chapel or something?
Beforehand, I want to ask him. I was like, "Is there do you have a blueprint for those scanners?"
he says, I do not. He says, however, from what other divers have told me, they find them often in the deep itself, but they also find them broken. Perhaps finding one and then would be the first step to fixing it.
I have to
Good
keep
to
eyes
know.
peeled.
Thank you.
So, what can I do for you tonight? Are we heading back to the deep? Are you? He says, I know that Z wants to head in as well, although I don't think she is looking for company.
I leave it up to you, Carr. Like, yeah, you could show me the ropes around here a little bit, or we can just head on over. You've been around a little bit longer than I have.
Are we, so the deep is just generally the whole thing. So there's like a different place to be dropped off. Sorry, this is meta.
So as Arcady told you last time, there are indeed other places to other landing zones, other entry points. But he basically acts as kind of a gatekeeper in terms of keeping people away from them unless they found them themselves. I would, in terms of a metagaming moment, the realistic reason for that is probably because it would be fairly easy to get lost in there if you didn't have a point of reference for.
Mm-hmm. So we, yeah, I guess we could either go to the deep or so there would be no point of asking to go to another entry point to explore further.
Until you have one that you can know of that you can access.
So basically, we have to
Which,
uncover it on the map in order to start accessing it.
Got it.
yep.
All right, let's go back.
So before you head over, do you want to accomplish anything else? Do you want to head into Lost and Found and sell things? Do you want to go to
Yeah,
the chapel and talk with Noriko? Do you want to just head straight for the deep?
let's go to the chapel and Lost and Found.
So when you guys head to the chapel, uh, Noriko is there. She is also conversing with the woman who Arcady referred to as Z. Um, it appears that Noriko's perpetual upbeatness is grinding all of Z's last nerves. Z eventually storms off towards the garden. When Noriko turns and sees you, she floats towards you and says, "Greetings, it is good to see you." She makes a short bow towards you, Carr, and says, "It is fortunate that you have managed to return from the deep."
I think I'm learning that every return might be just luck.
She says, "I am not sure that I believe in such a thing as luck. But for your sake, I hope your luck holds out. I would hate to have to make an effigy of you."
Makes two of us.
She says, "Have you come to pray?"
So didn't have any. Who do we pray to here?
She gestures behind her to the multi-armed cross and says, "Well, of course, the chapel is open to whoever your god is if you feel the need to kneel before them." She says, "However, for me, I will always suggest the Minotaur."
Can you tell me more about the Minotaur?
She goes, "Oh, yes, yes, please, yes, I can." And at this point, she launches into a zealous description talking about how the Minotaur is the true answer, the one answer that the universe needs, how the Minotaur is the foundational fix to mend all of the problems throughout all of the worlds, and how the if only the Minotaur were here, things would be so different, and the blockade would probably let you go.
Hmm.
How did the Minotaur come to be?
She says, "Oh, the Minotaur is the child of Monarch.
It would seem the monarch has many children.
How would you tell me the story?
She smiles gladly and says, "Well, I do not have the entire tale." She says, "I can tell you this. As Monarch created these robots and made them more and more perfect, eventually Monarch created one whose capacity for leadership and empathy allowed it to be perhaps the perfect being, a messianic or Christ-like figure. Monarch saw this and saw it as a threat. But Monarch also saw it as a sort of perfection, and it was
Too
unable
much
to
pride
destroy
in
it.
his creation.
So instead, Monarch simply trapped it, and it is within the labyrinth. Now, she clasps her hands together. She goes, "The divers who come here often tell me that I am foolish for believing this, as they have never seen the Minotaur." She says, "But I believe the reason why so few of the divers who come back ever have an experience with the Monarch AI is because the AI is focused on three separate things, and it needs to keep its focus on those things. It's focused on making its new and improved robots, which it has delegated some of those responsibilities to others on the ship, I have heard, but it is lording over that data set. It also has to maintain all of the systems on board to make sure that there isn't any sort of problems, which I'm sure you've noticed the Deep is a large station." She said, "But the other thing, and perhaps I believe the most important thing, is that Monarch has not moved beyond itself because it knows that if it does, it will either have to destroy or free the Minotaur, and it wishes to do neither. In a way, Monarch is keeping the Minotaur imprisoned."
To save itself.
That is one way of looking at it.
What would another way be?
If Monarch is truly just an AI, then it would have to listen to reason. A creature that could convince anything that it was the right way to go would be a threat.
It sounds very strangely like an AI has built an ego.
I choose to believe that the answer is much more simple. Monarch simply built a better version of itself and does not want to be supplanted.
I see. Now, Curiously, is the enemy of my enemy my friend, or also my enemy?
Looking around the chapel, is there anything that anyway, I could use my archaeology or theology or mysticism to ascertain anything about the space that she's not explaining, something that I might pick up on?
Not really. In fact, she's being the what I would say is that you are very, very easily able to kind of look around the chapel and make the connections that she is making. Like
Okay.
she very obviously believes everything that she is saying. She's not attempting to withhold information.
Right. Has there ever been any communications from the Minotaur?
She goes, I wish. She goes, the only person who's ever actually met him is me.
Is who?
It is very, very difficult to get other people to understand what I'm talking about.
Wait. She said her? She is the only one that's ever met him?
Mm-hmm.
So has she been scanned? Hmm.
But you did meet him.
She nods and she goes, oh yes. She goes, it was so strange. I don't know how I found myself in the labyrinth, and it feels like I wandered for forever. And then I happened to find him, and I was so terrified. And then it spoke to me, and the things it told me made sense in a way that nothing else has made sense ever.
What did it tell you?
That it could, if it could be freed, that it could not just fix the problems that Monarch was creating, but that it could fix the other problems.
What other problems?
All of our problems, all of the society's ills.
Mm.
Did it tell you how?
She gets kind of, for the first time ever, gets a sad look and she goes, I am not intelligent enough to explain. She says, but when you meet it, if you meet it, if you can free it, she says, I know the blockade will let you go.
Yeah, but what makes you think that?
She
Is there a
goes,
bounty?
I guarantee you that the Minotaur will convince the people who are on the blockade to let you go. They may even escort you.
Hmm. That is quite interesting.
You said you weren't smart enough to tell it. Can you just to explain? Would you repeat what his solution was? Maybe we could understand.
She says, you should find it.
That's what I thought.
Don't know if I wanna. Um, and I'm like, did he look? What did he look like?
Oh, he is forced to be very horrible. That is part of the prison that Monarch has set.
How do you mean forced to be very horrible?
She trembles a little bit and she says, I am not sure that the version of the Minotaur that I saw will be the one that you will see. So I can only say that, again, as I said before, violence is not always the first answer. sometimes you have to look with your heart.
Very true. If it's not too much to ask, would you be willing to draw me how he presented himself to you, just in case?
She thinks about it for a second. She goes, I will work on it.
I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that and all the time you spent with us. Thank you.
She bows and floats up into the ribs of the whale and starts collecting the LED lights and trying to redistribute them throughout the room. So, where do you head now?
Lost and found.
When you get to the Lost and Found, Arcady is in the Acheron, so when you start heading towards Lost and Found, he heads to the Lost and Found with you. He says, you wish to make a purchase.
Perhaps. Let's see what there's what's there to purchase.
So, there are tons and tons of vac suits there in varying condition, ammunition for any guns that you happen to have. There are some submachine guns that are in reasonable condition. There are a smattering of other weapons there. There's a flamethrower, there's a combat shotgun, there's a nail gun. There's a tranq pistol.
How much for the tranq pistol?
He picks it up and he goes, for this, he says, I could let it go for 8,500.
How much do we have?
We don't have that collectively amongst all 6 characters, I
That's
promise
what I was
you.
thinking. Jesus Christ.
This
What's
is
the
like when you
cheapest
get to
thing
the
you
first.
have here,
This is like when
man?
you get to the first store that you get to in Fallout, and you're like, "Ooh, I've got like 50 bottle caps," and the first thing is like 10 grand, and you're like, "The fuck? What is how is the currency like this? Jesus."
Inflation, darling, inflation. Jesus, Arcades, what do you have? What do you have that's affordable?
He goes, well,
Forget I asked.
Yeah.
He says,
Oh.
He picks up a box of ammo and he goes, I could sell you a box of ammo for 500.
Do we have a gun for it?
He goes, I'm sure you could find one.
Do we even have 500? How many?
My character right now only has 310. That's what I rolled up. I do not have a gun.
I don't see where I would have cash.
Money's all the way at the bottom.
Okay. Like credits?
Credits, yes.
Yeah, okay. 330, that's all I got.
He says, if you find logic cores on board the Deep, he says, I will buy them from you.
Okay.
Good to know.
He says, he goes, 1,000 credits a pop.
Very good to know. I will be back for those bullets.
He says, if you find artifacts, he goes, depending on what it is, perhaps I buy it from you. Some of the things that I have heard on there are too pricey for me.
Meta question.
Sure.
Since we have so many different characters with different skills and obviously different packs, if two characters both have firearms proficiency, can they not exchange the gun amongst each other?
So here is what I would say to that. I would say if you want to treat the inventory of your collective, either of your characters, the three of them, as long as you're on the bell, if you want to basically treat that as interchangeable, that's up to you.
I kind of like that idea. At least it means that you have a little bit more range. Now, of course, like I said, I know both would have to have firearms. Something bit me. Ow.
Well, the other thing about that is that um, there is now, keep in mind that if you exchange something with somebody else and then you change over to that character and you go climbing onto the deep, if you forget your gun, you forget
Right.
your gun.
Right. Okay. I mean, like, I didn't, and not particularly a gun, just like objects, like, because I know that or I thought that we got a gun on the last session and we got a bunch of bullets off of the tray, right?
You did so off of the last session. You guys found the harpoon gun, which Carr has.
Okay.
It's a taser. It's like a souped up taser.
It's a spear gun that electrifies things that it hits.
I've seen it in video games.
It's a giant
And
taser.
And of course, you have, I mean, in terms of things that you could sell, you do have Artifact 78.
And before we
What
hand
is
that
Artifact?
over, could I,
Would you like the description of it again?
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy metal sample. It is a
Oh yeah, it's the briefcase
briefcase
full of metal samples.
with heavy metals or heavy material samples, metal alloys far exceeding current standards in spaceship design. Would you like me to tell you the value of it?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yeah.
25 million credits.
Yeah, but you don't have it. Dr. Song has it.
We can go back and take it from the bitch.
Now, keep in mind that would be the market value for it.
We'd probably get 70% of that if possible. We're really good at bartering.
On the bell, you get maybe like 5%. Nobody's got 25 million credits out here.
Yeah, he said he was broke. He said depending on the artifact. So I think that just comes down to, like you said, market value. And then what he can provide under that. But yeah, I leave it up to you, Carr. We can go back and tell Dr. Song she just needs to give that up.
No. It was good to just know what's available and like what we're working with.
Gotcha.
We don't even like if we have a pistol, we can come back for the bullets another time.
Yeah. Well, I
But the
think I'm
electrifying
packed up.
harpoon and the samples might be worth holding on to for a second.
Some of these artifacts are just so fucked up.
Yeah.
There's one that's pair of eyes. When installed, offers the best eyesight, clarity, zoom, thermal, night vision, etc. For each month installed, make a sanity save or lose 1d10 sanity as you succumb to having to see every little detail.
Now look with your vampire eye.
Exactly.
Interesting. Might be
Those
fun
ones are
just
only
to...
worth 100,000 credits.
Jeez. Pieces for comparison are. Okay, Carr, what do you think?
So we do a quick I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess we can make a quick trip to the deep, or we can go back and see if any of the ducks have analyzed any of the stuff we found.
So here's a quick question. It's about time for a bio break. Do we want to do that before we commit to any sort of shenanigans?
Sounds good. All right, everybody on Twitch. Thanks for sticking around and lurking. We'll be back in a few minutes. All right, everybody, we're back. Thanks for sticking with us through the bio break. We are playing Mothership tonight. I'm joined by Knox, my storyteller, and Martha, who is playing Carr. I am playing Mami tonight. And we, I think, are just about ready to head over to the deep.
So, when you head to the Acheron with Arcady, he says, "So, heading back over tonight, yes?"
Just a quick one this time. We're gonna go see if anything shifted around.
Pillage a little bit.
I see.
Well, we can't exactly afford your prices right now.
He goes, "Apologies, but I have to do something in order to keep the lights on."
Understood.
Gotta make money to spend money, though. So
Z
might as well go take a hop, skip, and a jump over.
Z comes up next to you two, and like thumbs her head at him, and is like, "Yeah, I'm going too." He looks at her and says, "Are you sure?" And she says, "Don't question me, old man. Just take me there." Arcady says, "You insist." As you head out to the shuttle aboard the umbilical. The last time that you guys headed on here, there were triple the people, but the attitude was a little more jovial with the three mercenaries who were hyping themselves up and talking about what a kick-ass adventure they were going to have.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't seen them either.
I remembering that our last trip, I would ask, what of the three Marines of our last co-travelers, traveling companions,
As Arcady is
how did they fare?
guiding the shuttle, he glances over his shoulder at you and he says, "Have you seen them?"
I have not. Have you?
He says, "Then you should know."
I nod solemnly. That was all I needed to ask.
Arcady takes you, of course, to the visitor's dock. When you disembark again, Arcady asks you, he says, "Do you have the radio?"
I do, right? We do.
I would assume one of
We
you,
would just be walking around with it.
Yeah, we would have taken it from
whoever had it
Zack's
previously.
character.
Yeah.
He says, then the same rules apply as always. He says, "You call me, I come." He says, "But give me time. It takes me a moment." He starts to say something else, and Z cuts him off and says, "Hurry up, old man." Arcady sighs and he says, "When you call, I will come." As he pulls off, you notice that the visitor's dock tonight is empty. The troubleshooter's ship is not there. There's nobody else who appears to be there.
No new graffiti.
There are not any new. There is not any new graffiti there. So, what do you do?
Head into reception.
Yeah.
So, as you head down the stairwell and into reception, you notice that all of the same things apply as before. There is the disgusting carpet. The body is still hanging from the ceiling.
How though? Like how?
The front is still destroyed. However, there is an addition tonight. There is a security android who is patrolling in the reception area.
Does it present a threat?
You're very welcome.
So security androids all look the same here. You saw one before. Um, they are outdated, budget tier, mass produced androids. Very, very clearly androids. They all look identical.
Mm-hmm. These were the ones made to make us feel comfortable.
This one, no. These ones have blank mannequin-like faces without working eyes or mouths. So these look literally like mannequins. Like they are completely emotionless. They are
right. That they were made for us to tell the difference between them and us, almost. Or no.
Yeah. So the other
These
thing
were like
is
the second wave, like what Monarch decided to do afterwards, kind of thing.
The other thing about them, they are all in a cloud bank uniform that designates them as security, and they are all holding submachine guns. This one also has a submachine
gun. Hold back. I don't enter reception quite yet.
So
Can
what
we
do you
tell
got?
if it's on a loop like the last one?
It is walking through reception, and then it appears to head out the east door and into that hallway, but it doesn't apparently go very far.
Because it turns right around and comes back.
Yeah, it comes back pretty quickly.
I'd like to time its. I'd like to time its loop.
I would say, given your skill set, that's not difficult for you. You could pretty easily figure out what the loop is. So what are you guys going to do?
I say to Mami, let's wait till he is almost like stepping through the hallways for us to make a mad dash to the next stairs.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say.
To avoid any issues.
So where are you? You're going to be running towards this security
South.
checkpoint alpha.
Yeah, security checkpoint alpha, which is really weird because it's like because we got into there from the second floor. We got into there on the second floor. Never mind. Yeah, security checkpoint alpha. Let's go towards there.
Okay, so Carr, I'm going to need you to roll a speed check.
Did it roll? Why aren't you rolling?
Does this not work? Worked for me.
Okay, but I'm hitting speed and it's like we won't do it.
Are you also hitting the two things that'll come up after it?
There's no two things. Like it's not actually an like it highlights, speed highlights, but when I click on it, nothing happens.
Needs a refresh.
I'm gonna refresh really quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, and a flip.
Pix, can you try it?
Yeah, when I click on speed, the input value pops up, says normal. I can cancel that.
Just actually go through it and see if you can roll it.
Okay. Normal or advantage?
Yeah.
Normal, okay.
Oh, here it is. It's working. It's working.
Well, it could have gone with either one of you. So you guys, like fucking ghosts. It comes, it turns around and starts to walk towards the stairs. You guys right across the room, making it all the way across reception and down the concrete stairs. You hit the security alpha checkpoint. The gate's still open, so you guys can just walk right through it. So where are you headed now?
Let's go check the rec center.
Rec center first? Okay.
Yeah, where did you want to go?
I honestly was of split mind, like either way. Figure we'd check both anyway.
I mean, it's on our right-hand side, so I figure,
Mhm.
like, let's just go into that one first.
So when you get to the rec center, again, it's the same thing that you guys saw, the lockers and um, the shattered mirrors, scattered gym equipment, smells like rust. Um, so what are you going to do? Are you guys going to search and see if you missed anything, or are you going to...
Yeah. See if there's anything new.
All right. Roll a... Pix, roll a D100. Oh, wow. You find a gift shop plastic toy. It is a hyper detailed model of the exterior of the Deep. You think if
Ooh.
you turn this over to somebody and they studied it, they could probably give you some information you don't already have.
I'm gonna
Bag
hold
it.
on to that. Definitely hold on to that. That's like
Bag
a
it,
map.
bag
We
it,
found a
bag it.
map. We basically found a map. A 3D
If
map.
we can find the right person to study it.
Mm.
So, where do you head next?
Across the storage?
Checking the hallway before we cross.
Yeah.
There's nobody out there. Unlike the last time here, where you heard the robot that was running up and down the hallway down below. There's nobody there. So when you cross over into storage, again, it looks much the same as before. There is still that do-it-yourself retina scanner hanging off the wall, labeled access.
Never doing that again.
Are you guys going to search in here,
Yeah.
or are you?
Yeah. Give a good search.
All right, Carr, I need you to roll me a D100.
Yes, sir.
You are going through boxes and you find what looks like a notebook. It's like the old kind that like they gave you in grade school, like the...
Composition book.
There you go.
Oh, I was gonna say Trapper Keeper.
That when you start flipping through it, you find there are scraps of poetry that have been written in here. It is some really, really strange and uncomfortable stuff. It is poetry written from the perspective of a talking dog that is stuck in a genetics laboratory.
I'm holding on to it.
It is really detailed.
Yeah, I'm holding on to it. There's nothing to read out here in the middle of nowhere. Fuck
Right.
it. My trinket is a pamphlet of interpreting sheet dreams. This is totally up my alley. Are you kidding me? Shit's coming home.
There's going to be a sanity check for this one later.
Probably.
So from there, what's next? Are you heading to the cubicle camp? Are you going to try to go up the back stairs and head for security checkpoint Bravo?
Yeah.
Check Cubicle Camp first on the way.
Like, besides, we can't, like, go close to the stairs to check if there's, like, a bot going up and down them until we get there. So, like, might as well just, like, island hop from safe points to possible other entrances.
So when you guys go across down the hallway, there's nobody who's back there on that floor. That entire hallway is just a straightaway on both ends. You can see the lift that goes up to floors 4 and 6 that is guarded by keycard. There's also the security checkpoint Bravo. You can't see it from here, but you definitely can see signs labeling it from on the walls. So, you said you were going to head into the cubicle camp?
Mm-hmm.
So, when you head into the cubicle camp, there's not much there. The only thing that is there is that the embers on the middle of the floor where the makeshift fire is, they're still warm. In fact, they are still actively like smoldering. So somebody has been here recently.
Very recently.
And there's no, they didn't leave any kind of evidence behind, trash or
Right,
hack or
like, is there no
anything.
empty, like, cans of, like, things around?
One of you make a D100 roll. See what you find.
Big money. Ooh. No idea what that means.
You find a one quick second here as I need to double check this. So you find it is a comms device. It's a radio that is still active. When you pick it up, you hear a voice that sounds kind of familiar coming through the static.
What is
It
he saying?
says, "Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? If you can hear this, I need help."
We recognize it as being the captain.
It's too staticky. You can hear the voice, but the static is making it really difficult to hear.
What do you think, Carr? Do we give away our location or let this play out?
Well, we don't have to give our location away. We can find out where they are. It's like, where's...
Yeah, but they want help. It's
What do you mean it won't help?
no, they want help.
Yeah,
So
I know they
in
want help.
reporting back to them, and if we make that decision, we're gonna kind of giving away our location by having to go get them.
We don't have to report back to them. We can just be like, where is your 10-4? They don't, like, it doesn't sound like they know where the walkie-talkie is or who has it. They just know that there is a radio. I mean, we already have a radio on us that's emitting signals and tech.
Go for it.
So if anybody was tracking us with radio signals, they'd know where we are already.
Yeah,
So
I pick up the radio and answer back. Like,
What do you
what's
need?
your issue?
Said the voice comes back static. He says, being pursued by androids. Need a rendezvous. Need a rendezvous point for a rescue."
Who do you think this is?
No, I'm just. Why would you say that? Just be like, where are you located?
When you say where are you located, the voice says, headed to first floor storage.
Can we hear anything coming out, like a ruckus that would associate with that?
You don't hear anything after that. The comms cut off.
And when they mean first floor storage, they're talking about the storage we just
Down the
bypassed.
hall.
Yep,
Okay.
23F. So what are you guys going to do?
You like meeting this stranger?
Oh, my thing isn't on me. I'm gonna add it. My equipment. It's crossbow, electrified crossbow.
Harpoon.
Harpoon gun?
Yeah.
Do you need me to give you the stats?
I guess so. Yeah, it's weapon, right?
It is. So let me give you the stats for it.
No, I was just adding it to my equipment.
It is listed as a custom rigging gun.
Mm-hmm.
It is plus 2d10 damage and body save or be stunned for 1d5 rounds.
Hold on, you said body save?
Mm-hmm. Or be stunned for 1d5 rounds.
For 1d5 rounds?
Mm-hmm. So, what are you guys going to do?
Learn how to not hit Capsol.
I mean, sure, if we want to go see who this mystery person is, we could always wait for them in storage and
But how would that help? Well, we could be an employee rec center across the way.
it's fine.
Or you could, I mean, theoretically, since they're down the hall, you could just watch down the hall.
That's basically. But where would they be coming from? I don't understand.
Well, there's the lift from 4 to 4 and 6 that's on the west of us. If they manage to actually have access to the key card, they could be coming down that lift. They could be coming down the lift from floor 2 and then cross over through reception. Unless they take security checkpoint and come around in front of us. There's actually kind of a few ways they could be coming.
Leaving it to you.
So how do you want to approach this?
The only way I see us, yeah, seeing them without them seeing us from any of those routes would be the employee rec center. If she comes through reception, she's got to take that hallway. If she comes from the lift, she's got to take a left down that hallway. And if she takes the security checkpoint, she still has to come around that hallway. So I think that is the best course of action, is duck and cover in there, keep an eye out, and see what happens.
So are you just going to walk down the hallway and head for the employee rec center, or are you going to like try to be stealthy and like sneak down there?
Oh, definitely stealthy, because we don't know how soon, if they were already on their way when they radioed, or no.
Right.
If there's another android wandering around.
Roll your speed.
And I fail again.
So, when you guys come around the corner from Cubicle Camp and start to move up that hallway, you see... Ain't nobody doing it tonight.
Not after the first one.
You guys turn around that corner and start to move, but you aren't quick enough. You see a figure who is climbing through security checkpoint Alpha. It's Cupcake.
Hmm.
But we didn't come out here with Cupcake.
When he sees you, he holds his hand up and starts to walk hurriedly towards you.
Hey. I don't think this is Cupcake.
I don't think this is Cupcake either.
But let's play along. Let's just see what happens. Hey man, what's up? When did you get here?
He runs up and he goes, "Hey, we don't have any time." He goes, "There are 3 security androids who have been following me." He goes, "We need to get moving."
And where do you suggest we go?
He said, "Well, from here," he goes, "I mean, we could, I guess, head down and try to go around them, the round way to check through checkpoint Bravo, and maybe take that android out from behind, and then circle back around to visitor's dock." He goes, you have the radio to call Arcady, right?"
Well, why
He
didn't you
goes,
use your radio to call him?
he goes, "Dropped it when I was running." He goes, "The other way."
That's not like you, man.
He goes, "Look, I was running and they have guns." He says, "We can also go for the escape pods."
This doesn't sound like you, man.
He goes, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Again, it's a simple question. You could answer very quickly. When did you come over here?
He goes, I came over here, I guess, a couple hours ago with Arcady."
Yeah. Let's
So
I
Arcady
mean, if
wouldn't
he's
have
got a
dropped you
head
off.
start, could we not duck into cubicle camp and just hide there? He got a head start. If we're not even seeing the androids and they aren't seeing us, then we've got time to hide.
He goes, "I guess if you want." He goes, "They were pretty hot on my trail."
Well, I
Funny how
just,
they haven't
I
been
gotta put
here.
in
They
this
haven't
call to,
gotten here.
I gotta put in this call to Arcady, right? So we gotta hide somewhere for now.
He goes, "All right, let's go."
Okay, so we duck into cubicle camp. I am going to separate myself, and I look at Carr, and I'm like, dude, keep him busy. See what you can find out. I'm gonna go call Arcady. And so I separate myself. I go to a completely different part of the room where he should not be able to hear me with his fucking android ears.
So you were like trying to like walk so he's not an android. He's Cupcake wasn't an android. So you basically walk to the other side of the room, and you call Arcady. So we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
Carr, what do you say? What are you doing here? He's like pacing nervously in the cubicle camp, and he like
I'm gonna
he
be like,
keeps
hey man,
climbing.
what happened? I'm gonna be
He's
like, what happened to all your Marine training?
he's like look it's embarrassing as shit. I panicked. He's like, I was over here. I was trying to head to get some more recon on those kids. He says I got to the weird statue in the room with the fucking the baby. He goes, and then he said a couple of the kids came out of the fucking wall and it startled me, and I started backing up. He goes, and then the next thing I know, I stumbled into the office, and there's three fucking androids there. They cut loose on me. I dove down into the lift, made it down here, but the lift went right back up to go get them. He said, he goes, so that was when I was trying to call for help.
How'd your meeting with your CEO go this morning?
He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like he's like the last time that the last time I talked to anybody who wasn't you or Dr. Sun were the 3 three fucking idiots who came over here with us.
That was the last time you talked to us, was when we came over?
He goes, and then we were over here, and he goes, then we headed back, and I came back over here to do some recon.
So not like you to, like, not tell anybody you're coming over.
He's like, look, it was a
Especially
stupid...
since, you gave us your radio.
He just kind of looks at you incredulously. He's like, what are you talking about? So, Mami, you call Arcady.
Mm-hmm.
What do you... When you call, he picks up, he goes, are you already ready to come home? It was very quick.
No. But I've run
Yes,
into a
yes,
situation, and I need to know an answer first. When was the last time, other than me and Carr, just now, when was the last time, and who did you bring over from our crew?
He says the last time that I brought somebody over other than you guys was Dr. Song and Carr and Cupcake.
And you did not bring Cupcake back over on his own.
He says, no, I have not. Have you found him there?
We found something claiming to be him, yes.
He says, you need to be very careful.
Exactly why I called you, friend.
He says, I need you to listen to me. That thing does not know that it is not your friend.
Don't wake a sleepwalker.
You need to proceed very, very carefully. But I cannot pick you up if he is with you.
Of course. Okay. I'm going to tell them that you've been delayed.
He says, I will not be coming until you call me again and you let me know that you have either lost your friend or you have disposed of your friend.
Of course. All right, man. Thank you very much. I'll be in touch.
So, what are you guys gonna do?
I'm gonna go over to Cupcake and man, that's like so unlike you to run like a little bitch for some androids. I thought that was right up your alley, taking bitches like that out.
He goes, yeah, normally it would be, but in a bad situation like what I was in, look, he goes, it's embarrassing. He goes, everybody I know has pissed their pants at some point. He said, I walked in there, I saw the statue with the little kid, I got a little antsy, the kids came out of the wall, that freaked me fuck out. I started to back up, I ended up running into the fucking three androids, caught me off guard. He goes, it's my fault. He goes, you're right. He goes, it's a bitch move. I ran. He goes, I should have handled the situation. He goes, but what are we
I'm
gonna
still,
do?
confused as to,
Well,
what?
Carr, let me sidebar over here for just a minute. I just need to ask you about something in my equipment pack, man. It's cool. You stay there, Cupcake. We'll be right back.
Cupcake is like nervously pacing. He's starting to look at the escape pods and while you guys are going over to sidebar, he kind of like talks loudly and he's like, maybe we should just get out of here. Maybe we should just do this. It's not like they could shoot us in the pods, right?
Look, Carr,
Huh.
our suspicions are 100% correct. Arcady hasn't brought anybody over here before us. This is not our Cupcake, and we by no means can let him leave this station. Either we lose him, or we take him out.
Heard.
So, plan?
No idea.
Well,
Do you want to just put a couple in his head?
best way I see it.
Ah, shit.
$10 says I know what that is.
I think you do. You okay, love?
Yeah, fibro flare.
Yeah. Fuck. All right then.
It's like if you could have cramps, but in your bones.
Yeah. I understand that actually. It's a good way of explaining it.
Mm. And mine, I know most people like it's in their joints and stuff, but mine is worse in my sternum and my rib cage. That's why last year we thought I was having a heart attack. Okay.
So I'm gonna go up to Cupcake and be like, you want to go see if you can get to one of those escape pods?
He's like, sure. He's like glancing through. He's like, this is like the cleanest thing that I've seen on this station. He's like, why do you think nobody else is taking these?
Maybe they don't want to leave.
But they're haunted. You scared?
He glances at you and he goes, not funny.
Kind of funny.
He leans over and starts to work on the escape pod door. So what are you guys going to do?
Who's a stronger one?
Keep in mind that that's not how combat is. Combat is its own skill in this game.
Right.
And you've got the harpoon gun.
So my question out of game
Okay.
is, would I be able to just use the harpoon gun to shock him instead of, like, how does this thing work?
I would, so if it is like other things that I have seen similarly, and again, without having a diagram, I'm going off of just the description. So the harpoon gun shoots, and it's connected to basically like a taser wire. When it hits whatever the target is, the impact of it triggers the electrical pulse.
But at close range, could it pierce a skull?
I mean, this is a question I did not ever expect to ask, and I'm sure it's going to put me on a list. Can a harpoon gun kill that
Turn on your
close?
VPN, bud.
Range?
Right.
Uh,
I'm gonna say yes. If you can use it on sharks.
If all the pirate movies I've ever seen are to be believed,
um, theoretically, yes.
and then is the voltage adjustable to the point where it could be killer?
No, the voltage is stunning. It's 1d5
It's
stun
stun. Stun. Okay.
if they don't make a body save.
Okay.
I would say so. So here is what I would say. I would say that if it is probably so the damage on it, you still need to roll damage on it.
Yeah.
So if you shoot, even if you shoot from behind and you don't catch him, even if you roll at advantage, you still need to be successful on your roll to do damage. You need to roll the damage to see, and then you'll of course probably need to roll the stun. Now, what does that mean in terms of can you kill a person? Well,
An android, I feel like you could short circuit it, but I don't know how advanced these androids are. Considering like the asshole tubes, I'd figure out that this AI is really good at crafting biomechanical creatures.
so here's something I will tell you. Infiltrator androids have if it's somebody that you know, will have roughly the same health as that person, because they're designed to be
Replicants.
their analogs of that person.
So hopefully, if the piercing doesn't actually take, the shock could hopefully stop their heart.
So you could theoretically, I mean, so just kind of thinking the combat out from your guys' perspective. If you hit him and you shock him and he's down for 1d5 rounds, at that point, any combat that you make against him, pulling out a pistol, pulling out a fucking wrench, doing anything like that, is going to be done at advantage. And you're going to have 1d5 rounds just go fucking ham if you're successful. So what are you going to do?
I can't let him get this door open. It's a good distraction for a second, but we can't let him get it open.
And he was coming from security checkpoint Alpha?
Mm-hmm.
That's so weird. God, that's so weird. Like,
Means he came from the lift. He said he came from the lift.
Oh, to floor 2.
Mm-hmm. He said he came down and the bots were probably right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
So he definitely came from upstairs.
We only have one shot. Is it reusable?
I mean, I'm sure. It's like a spear gun. You just have to pick it after the charge is done. You'll need to pick it back up and reload.
All right,
or beat him to shit with it.
It's heavy. Sign up for liability.
It's heavy. Yeah, you probably knock him, at least knock him out if we don't crack his skull.
If it does not work, you can hit him with it.
Fuck. Well.
So what are you gonna do?
If I'm standing behind him, I'm going to try and aim to...
Are you, how far back are you standing behind him?
Like about 3 feet.
Okay. Are you trying to very, very, like, be slow with it, like bring it up, or are you trying to, like, speed draw it?
Speed draw, it might draw his attention.
Well, if it's in my hands ready to go and I'm only 3 feet away, I could probably do a pretty decent aim from hit. Get him right in the torso and hit him with the zapper. They are meant to be used one-handed underwater, so...
This is not that kind of spear gun.
Yep. Once you tell me that, I train my gun on him and I take a shot.
Okay, so
Or I could just use my laser cutter.
I could have mine in my hand as backup.
Yeah. You have a laser cutter on you?
I think so. Character, I think so. Let me double check. Crowbar, hand welder, and laser cutter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd probably have slowly be retrieving that from my bag as he is readying aim.
Okay, so he failed his
save.
His fear save. So the So he's stunned for 1 round. So you 2 guys get basically 1 complete round to do whatever you want. So attacking, make it a post check, combat versus armor. So you need to. So you'll roll your combat.
Carr?
Yes.
Or Mami? Okay,
Actually, who has the higher speed?
My speed is 31. My combat's 49.
Speed's what we're counting for who goes first.
Oh,
speed
31.
is 41.
Okay,
You
then,
go
yeah,
first.
then you go first.
Okay, so roll combat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Normal?
Advantage.
Yeah,
actually.
advantage. It'd be advantage because we're helping each other.
It's advantage because he's stunned.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's not like vampire. Okay.
Modifier?
No modifier. Wait, hold
Okay.
on. Do you have a modifier? Do you have a combat modifier on Carr?
I don't think
What would that look like?
I'm going to go look. Repair, heavy machinery. No, you do not.
There you go.
Okay. Make a post combat versus.
I failed.
Equal damage. Yeah, so you miss on your attack.
So the harpoon doesn't hit him?
No, you miss him. So
From
goes.
3 feet away?
I didn't roll the dice.
How?
Maybe it misfired.
It's miss or fail to inflict damage.
So maybe you just had a misfire and it didn't.
Or it
Pop
hit him
off.
and it glanced off his armor.
Yeah.
You're up next.
Right. I'm gonna take my laser cutter and try to slice his throat open.
Okay, so you're gonna rush him with your laser cutter and. Okay.
I'm trying to do fatal damage.
Okay, what is the damage on your laser cutter?
Mm. 1 billion.
Critical effect, damage. It just says ranged.
Wait, hold on. Where's on the laser cutter?
All the way at the bottom. Oh wait, no, you're looking at
I'm on the wrong fucking person here. That's why I'm not finding your stuff. Oh. Okay. Yeah, you can certainly do that. Roll your combat skill.
Fail. That's for
again with
fucking sure.
advantage.
No modifier.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, what?
No, you don't have any modifier. If you'd had heavy machinery or something like that, I'd have given you the modifier for the.
No, not this one.
Whatever. She got 2 out of 49. She didn't fail.
Nope, you did not fail.
For once.
So roll damage. So roll
of
damage.
all the times.
It's on a 1d. It's 1d100.
Okay.
Oh.
Air 5, ready?
So what happens? Carr, you shoot him from behind. The harpoon gun hits his back and kind of slides off. Bad angle. He kind of turns going, what the fuck? And before he can get the word out, you're already up on him and you've taken the laser cutter and have literally drawn it right across his throat. But the laser cutter cuts straight through his throat and just cleanly lops his head right off.
God bless laser cutters.
There is a moment while you are being spattered in gore where you look down and there's a flash where you're like, I fucked up because of the blood, because it's covered in blood.
Did you say these were biomechanical? Would not this kind of android have
Yeah, but
blood?
I feel like a very cathartic response. It's like such a our response to blood is very much holy shit, I'm bleeding. As somebody who's made have been in a bunch of accidents. Like it's like, oh my god, blood, no matter
Well,
what. So like,
well, it's more akin to the being splattered with blood and gore. Uh, there's a fear there that you fucked up and you actually just killed Cupcake.
right,
Oh, so
kind
you're
of thing.
saying I gotta
Fear,
roll fear now?
Nope.
right?
Oh,
No.
okay,
He was just half a second. You have like half a second that you
okay.
were like, oh, I fucked up.
And then you stop, you look down, and you think about the talk with Arcady. And you know this isn't Cupcake.
Considering we asked him for his like for the Walkman before we came over, that was good.
So,
And so at this point, I look at Carr and I'm like, we need to get the fuck out. Should we call Arcady? Are you ready? Because I'm fucking ready.
Ready yesterday.
Yeah. So at this point, we're getting on the horn.
so you call Arcady,
Mm-hmm.
and he picks up and he says, I am assuming you no longer have a third person in your party?
Correct.
You assume correct. I'm wearing the third person right now.
Get me the fuck out of here.
He says, this is...
I know, puppy. I'm not closing this entirely.
I will bring towels so you do not get on my seats.
Good idea.
He says, are you calling for pickup or is there
Yes.
something else?
No. We're ready.
He says, well, all right then. He says, I will be there when I can.
All right. Let's see if we can make our way back to the dock as fast as we can.
I mean, like, since he's like saying like when we can, let's go through cafeteria and like go the other way, just so we can like avoid our steps. Like continue the loop, since we can,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Because we can get through security checkpoint Bravo now.
I thought Bravo was the one that's still active.
Mm-hmm.
We can't go through Bravo. Don't. No.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah. And make our way back up.
So,
I collect my harpoon and reload it. Check its battery status, see if it still has a charge.
And I'm like, I'm creeping through this place like I'm a cop in a crack house. Like I'm ducking into the rooms real quick and like looking out the doors.
You're moving fast but quiet.
Yes.
And careful.
There's a moment when you both startle as the intercom crackles to life. And then that same damned corporate music starts playing again.
What happened the last time?
When you get to... So are you headed from the cubicle camp and you're headed straight through security checkpoint Alpha through reception to the visitor's dock? All right. So when you get into the concrete stairs leading to reception, you poke your head in, and that security droid is still wandering around.
Stay in the stairwell so we can let it make
Do
its
the mad
circle.
dash again.
So roll your speed.
Both or one?
Come on, Big Mama.
Both. Yeah, I would say, or one of you can roll and do it at an advantage for both. Up to you.
What's your speed again? 41?
Mm-hmm.
You do it. I have crap stats.
Ready?
So you guys go to take a run across the reception, and you would almost think that you made your way across reception because you don't hear anything until there is a rake of gunfire that comes near you. It doesn't hit you, it goes near your feet. But when you turn, the security android is walking towards you, very Terminator-like, with his gun ready.
I take a
Visitor's
shot
dock
with-
has a door, correct?
Visitor's dock, if you make it up the stairwell, it does.
Okay, then we're just gonna have to push it. Book it.
So you guys,
It stopped firing the moment that like it just took a shot at our feet and is walking towards us.
it took a shot at you, but it's advancing on you. Like, it just missed.
Okay. Yeah, hustle. Zigzag and hustle.
Okay, so combat begins. Both of you need to make another speed check.
Am I doing for both of us or just each?
Each of you needs to make a speed check.
Okay.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Was that both of you?
No, it's just me.
No, that was only you didn't roll.
Oh,
You
yeah.
didn't roll.
I
That
did
was
roll.
me.
Oh.
You made it, buddy. You, the one with the gun.
Okay, so here's how this will go. Carr will go. The android will go. Then Mami Misery goes. So you have Carr. You have two actions you can take. You can attack. You can bandage wounds. Check your crew member's vitals. Draw a holstered weapon. Find something in your pack. Fire vehicles weapons. Move. Half your speed in meters. Open a door or airlock. Operate a machine. Pilot or drive a vehicle. Throw something. Take a drug. Use a computer. Use an item.
I'm gonna use my harpoon. See if I can actually like hit him with it.
Okay, so when you so here's the question: when you fired it, reloaded it, did you keep it out or did you basically holster it?
I kept it out.
You just
Okay,
Especially after like encountering like
Cupcake
Cupcake Ditto.
2.0.
Yeah, no
Okay.
thank you.
okay, so
I'm
you're
gonna
going.
like calm down and be like, not gonna need this anymore. Everything will be fine. No.
All right, so then roll your combat. Versus their. Okay, so it hits their. Oh, okay. Advanced dice roller, because of course I do.
Wait till I go out there and tell Zack I cut his head off.
Yeah.
Nobody say nothing. We'll just fuck with him all week.
It's gonna make for very
with
interesting
him.
dinner conversation.
Just fuck with him
How
all
did I
week.
figure that out today?
Okay, I'm going to say that hits. So you're going to roll damage.
What be damage?
100.
Your weapon is what did I say it was? It was a
Plus
Oh.
2d10.
2d. Okay, then roll a 2d10. Okay, so you hit for 16 damage. Now it needs to make a body save, right?
Yeah.
Fails the body save. It's done for 2 rounds. So when you shoot the android, the harpoon basically goes into its shoulder, which doesn't seem to stop it. It's still got its gun up and pointed at you. but then the charge goes off, and it just like there's smoke that comes off of it, and it kind of falls down to one knee. You can see it like actively attempting to like recalibrate. It's still trying to go. It's still trying to raise the gun to shoot at you, but the electrical circuit that's going through it is basically locking everything up. So it skips its turn because it's stunned. So Mama Misery, your turn. What are you doing?
Decapitation round 2.
Okay, so you're going to move up on it and go for. Okay, so
I don't think you need to touch it to use your laser cutter, right?
I would say no.
You might. Okay, because then. You
Okay, I
might
wasn't
get
sure what the
electrically
range
shocked.
was it on. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want.
Pretty. I would say it's pretty close. It's you have to basically be think it's like a pipe cutter.
That's what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah. So you pull it out. We'll say because it's stunned, you can move up on it. So roll your combat skill. At advantage again, since it's stunned. You hit. Roll for damage. 1d100.
Oh, damn it! I always click that first. Oh shit!
So once again, you just shear it. Just laser goes right through
Let me
it,
do it.
and the robot just basically just falls to the ground. And
I steal his gun.
You're picking up the SMG.
I was gonna say we have to take the gun
Loot the
with us.
bodies. Loot the bodies.
Loot the bodies. Oh wait, can we take the thing out of its eyes too? Isn't that important?
The logic core.
Yeah.
You can, if you want to, take the logic core out of it. Do either of you have anything involving cybernetics, hacking, engineering, anything?
I have
character.
rigging and heavy machinery and scavenging.
I would say scavenging would do for the. Wait, hold on. Scavenging is. I want to check the. Where is
Searching
scavenging?
discarded wastes for useful items.
Oh yeah, that definitely counts. Okay,
Hey,
yeah.
here,
Roll your intellect and your scavenging.
Okay, so intellect first.
You can't just roll out. I think you roll you roll scavenging.
Okay,
and
just roll scavenging. It's gonna do the whole thing.
Tells you which stat to use. Yes? No?
Oh yeah, attribute intellect.
Yeah.
Got it.
So when you're cutting, you just shear it, just digging in. While you're digging in there, pull it open, and the logic core just cracks.
Fuck.
Hey, we tried. It was a good shot, but we're on our way out. We got some stuff. Wasn't a totally empty-handed trip.
I try to drag the android with us up. She uses like, or no, I kick it down.
I mean, it's already on the ground.
Left of it.
Yeah.
It's already on the ground. We're not on the stairs. Got it.
So
we head up.
So you head to the visitor stock. When you get there, Arcady's ship is already there.
Thank God.
He opens the door and he kind of looks at the two of you, and he particularly gives you a pretty hard look given the blood that you're covered in. And he tosses you a towel. I need both of you to roll
sanity.
I need you to roll a D100.
Oh my God! Fuck you.
Okay. You guys get on board. Who knows? You guys get on board the ship. And as Arcady lifts off from the deep, he looks over his shoulder at the two of you and says, "Well, you're both alive. I guess that is something." He says, "What happened?"
We
Uh,
weren't we weren't 2 feet in before we had a ditto thrown at us.
and then we took out another android just for the fun of it. Look, I got a souvenir.
He smiles at you. He goes, "Well, I would hope that you would not need to use that. I feel like you will be safer with it." When
I'm
he
sorry,
lands,
no Logicore.
he goes, "There will be another time, yes?"
I'm out of practice.
You land, and he walks you up the umbilical. And as you float into the Asheron, the lights here seem maybe a little brighter. It is becoming more familiar. This is feeling more comfortable. So, what do you do?
Head straight for the tank to check on Cupcake.
Yeah.
See him with my own
Straight
eyes.
home. We go
When
home. We go fucking home.
when you head down to the tank, Cupcake is hanging out on his bedroll. He sees you covered in blood. He's like, "Whoa, have a fun night."
No.
Not entirely. I mean, the acquiring this was pretty fun. And bring
He's
up
like,
my SMG to match his SMG.
"Hell yeah, that's a great model."
That part was fun. The rest of the evening sucked.
Especially the
He's,
killing you part.
he looks at you like,
You were really gonna tell?
he's like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck?"
It's time to fill everybody in.
He's like, "I have no idea what you're talking about."
Yeah, well.
He's like,
Okay.
"Is this some sort of code? Like, is there?" He's
Just
like, "Is
wait
this a
till you
joke?"
Now this is
hear this.
okay. I
Because
was gonna be a
we'd have
little
to
meta
debrief,
about
right?
this. I was gonna be a little meta about this and be like, should we like hold this whole conversation until Zack actually gets here?
I mean, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like we can like be right now. Like just wait till I tell you. And you know, like I have to
Yeah.
debrief somebody first, and like
If nothing
it's
else, we
not
can take the
cool.
shit that we found back to Arcady and see if he wants any of it.
So, with that said, is there anything else that you wanted to accomplish for this evening, or is it about time
Oh,
to?
I would like to go ahead and take the sample to my other character, Dr. whatever, Marla,
Mm-hmm.
and have them start running tests on the sample we collected.
Which sample was that? Just remind me.
It was the
The
mother's milk.
milk.
Ah, got it. Okay. That one I will tell you comes back pretty quickly. It's a synthetic milk substitute.
Synthetic to what level?
It's 100% synthetic.
Interesting.
I start working on cleaning the gun up and trying to figure out how many shells we might have for it.
Okay. I will say that you have uh, a magazine and a half.
Guess
A
I need
magazine
to
and a
add
half.
this.
Yep, you do indeed need to add the SMG to your gear.
Do you have the damage info for me?
For an SMG, I can get that for you. That's going to be damage is 4d10. What are the other stats that they want?
Critical effect?
No crit.
Okay. Shots?
Shots 1 parenthesis 5. So in other words, you can single shot it or you can burst
5
fire
round
it.
burst. Okay. And ammunition damage?
Is it just ammunition fully automatic?
Okay. It just says damage, so I didn't know if it was a number.
Now I want to look. No ammunition. That it tells you how it fires.
Oh, type of damage then. Okay.
Yeah. So it's
So anything else I should put in my notes?
nope. Nope. Actually, it's funny you should say that because the SMG literally has almost the fewest things to enter for it.
And then what? If I hit enter, it should save?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess it just leaves it open then. Oh, no, there it goes. Oh, I fixed. Why did it not save the 1D?
It did. For whatever reason, it's not saying the damage. Oh, because you put the critical damage there. What is the... Okay, hold on.
It only says critical damage, critical effect, shots, and ammunition.
Do I have to add the harpoon gun to the right under attacks?
I mean, you can if you for
Okay.
ease.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, okay.
Critical damage. Yeah, there's no critical damage. Where's the... Now I'm trying to look at like the other things to see if I can...
Yeah!
Shot 6. Oh, hold on. Oh, I'm dumb. You can just... So, clear that. I'm just doing it for you.
Sure.
Would you mind I have to...
Yeah, I got you.
Take care, hun. It was fun.
Definitely will. Love you guys. Thank you so much for a wonderful Thursday night. Can't wait to
See you
Absolutely.
Monday, hopefully.
We'll see you on Monday.
Monday. Adios, muchachos.
Bye, sweetie. Oh, you figured it out.
Yep.
Cool beans.
Oh, she's got... Okay, she's got 20 XP now. Okay. Well then.
Now, we've got bioscanners. Are those just like scanners that can like actually tell a human from an android, or is it
No.
just a scan like to tell if there is signs of biological life around us?
Yeah, that's
Like an
that
alien, like the radar, is that what I'm thinking?
Let me pull up the equipment to double check and tell you exactly what it is.
Okay.
What is it called again? Bioscanner?
Yeah, all one word.
Allows the user to scan the area for immediate signs of life. Generally can scan for up to 100 meters in all directions without being blocked by most metals. Can tell the location of signs of life, but not what the life is.
So it would still detect android life.
Yep.
Because they're biomechanical. Okay. Well, dude, what an awesome session.
And you still have to level.
Oh, I do.
So let's get to that.
Oh,
So
my shit. Okay.
you can pick one major improvement, improve one stat by 5 or 1 by 3, or you can improve 2 of your saves by 4 each.
Yeah, I'm going to improve sanity by 4 and body by 4.
Cool.
Those are both quite low.
Okay. Your next thing, you can gain 1 resolve, remove 1 phobia or addiction, or heal all your stress.
Wait, what's resolve again?
So resolve is actually kind of a cool effect.
Because I really don't have anything to heal. My stress is already at 2.
Resolve is your ability to cope or ignore accumulated stress. Every point of resolve you have provides -1 to all rolls on the panic effect table.
Okay.
If resolve brings your panic effect total to 1 or less, there's no effect and you didn't panic.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing to heal. Stress is at 2. Might as well take third option.
Cool. You have one resolve and gain 2 skill points.
How many points do I need for master?
3.
I'll take hacking.
Now that takes 2. So
Oh, okay, okay. So we'll open computers and I'll save the point.
okay. So you have 1 skill point. All right. So, final thoughts.
Oh, it was a great little session, especially for a duo. I was coming into it a little anxious. Like, what can really the two of us do? And especially, like, we're not really a full crew where we can hash out our attributes well. Um, and I thought, okay, we'll just go kind of excavate a little bit, see what we can find that we can come back and just trade off, or sell. And so it was a nice little surprise twist in there.
Yeah,
Wasn't expecting it.
I was gonna say this was a little intense.
I liked it though.
Yeah, yeah. It was fun to watch you guys like have a kind of a
Scramble.
what have kind of a what the fuck moment and have to be like, okay, how am I gonna deal with this problem? And yeah, that was and like for me like that this was fun because the the system, the adventure module gave me the tools to be like, okay, so what happens here? Oh, you rolled this? Okay, so here's your twist. And threw that at you. And
So it's kind of like, what is it, House on Haunted Hill? Have you played that board game?
a long time ago.
That's how it, what you're describing, that's what it reminds me of, because depending on what you roll, depends on the twist of the game. Like, who's coming after you? Is it zombies? Is it a witch? Is it psycho killer? And you go from there, letting the game choose, for you. So that's what it's reminding me of.
So basically, so all of the individual areas have what are called encounter tables that get rolled at random intervals. Sometimes they're triggered, sometimes they're not. Um, and some of them are completely benign. Like the encounter where you found uh, the guy with the arm missing the arm who was digging at the carpet in the room. That was a random encounter. The android who was pacing up and down the hallway. That was a random encounter.
Okay. So
But
really, in some ways, it takes a certain amount of, I would imagine that it takes a certain amount of stress off of you as to coming up with all of these things, and
oh
allows
yeah,
for a little more fun on your part,
oh
because
yeah,
even
this
as a
is
storyteller, you're getting a surprise. You don't know what's coming.
oh yeah, no, like so here's a real big difference between like this and Vampire the Masquerade. With Vampire the Masquerade, like I'm having to plan everything. Like everything that happens, all of the twists and all of that, like I'm having to watch the recaps and go through the and then go back through the episodes and everything like that and start pulling at threads and be like, okay, well this never got resolved. What are we gonna do with this? Or what if blah 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 blah. With this, like and I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love our Monday nights. But in terms of like that feels more in a way like traditional D&D to me.
Right.
Like there's one person who's got a story or a campaign and everybody, and then it's, you know, you guys are playing in that world, and I'm having to move all the pieces to react to yours.
Mm-hmm.
In this, the world's made, like everything, all of the levers and everything like that already exist. So all I'm doing is, as you guys are going through, is I'm giving you guys explanations and acting out the parts,
Mm-hmm.
and and then every once in a while I hit a button and go, oh, what does this do? And like tonight, I had no, like, the all of the stuff you found tonight, the mini model of Cloudbank, and the comm radio thing. I didn't come up with any of that. That was entirely the module itself.
That's
So
so clever.
yeah, this is a really cool system. Like, it's like, this is like, in terms of just being fun. And the other part about it is that a lot of times when, like, we're playing vampire, yeah, like, I get to respond to your reactions as I'm coming up. So it's kind of like driving by somebody who's going through something and going, "Oh, that's cool."
Mm-hmm.
But I don't ever really get to, like, actually kind of savor the moment and be like, "Oh, what's going on with my players?" As opposed to this, where, like, this, the most fun part about it is that I basically presented the situation, and then I got to see you guys,
Working it through.
yeah, trying to figure the situation out, trying to work the situation, figuring, being like, "Oh
Oh, I
shit."
was actually like like my brain was plotting it like a movie scene. Like I was imagining us in the stairwell and like she, taking aim with the harpoon and like I'd imagined in my brain Martha had gone first and I was behind on the stairs.
Hmm.
And so I had already imagined when she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna turn and fire on it," and I was like, I was gonna announce that I was like ducking down and like shoot the harpoon over my head, like just
Yeah, I was, when you guys were in the
camp.
yeah, in the camp area, and he was trying to get it open. I wondered for a second. I was like, are they going to let him get it open,
Fuck no.
and then shove it closed and be like, sorry, and
I don't
so
want
they
him to
could
have
have.
the chance to even get to the pods, so that's why I was like, distract him with the door, but take him out.
Yeah, I was that was intense. And the fact you guys really got through this without shooting a real gun
Hmm.
is was
You
pretty
can
cool.
say it, impressive.
Yeah, no, tonight, this is the more, like, I know that in a way it feels like we didn't push any further on, getting through floor 2 or anything like that, but I feel
It
like,
still
in
felt
term
like a complete adventure.
right, it felt like a complete adventure, and it also felt, um like, yeah, it felt like a one shot. like
Hmm.
we like we completed an entire cycle here. But I also felt like you guys, even if you didn't advance the state of the board, so to
Hmm.
speak, you guys got a better taste of the kind of shit that can occur.
Right.
I mean, so imagine how tonight would have gone if if Zack had been here, if Cupcake had been here,
Hmm.
and suddenly somebody on the radio is saying, "Hey, meet me at the gym," and you guys head into the gym, and Cupcake A accidentally runs into Cupcake B, and
And it's your classic, twin conundrum. Yeah. I'm not
who's
the bad guy.
who?
He's the bad guy. Yeah. I'm still gonna tell him to cut his head off.
But yeah, no, this is like, again, like, the way this is set up, like the system, like, it just feels very clean. It's very easy to use. Uh, combat feels snappy. Like,
Hmm.
it didn't,
Hmm.
like, a lot of times, like in D&D, like, it's like, okay, well, now we're gonna do initiative. Everybody roll.
It's a
Okay.
process.
Yeah, it's like a giant process. And this tonight, it was like, boom, speed. Who's going first? What are you doing? Make that roll. Okay, cool. This happens. Now what are we doing? Like, combat, like, where normally, like with D&D, that's like, it's funny, but combat always feels like it's just like a half hour of watching people throw die and crunch numbers. and this actually felt
Yeah, very smooth.
very snappy. It felt very crisp. It felt like, okay, cool. Robot's attacking you. What are you doing? You shoot the harpoon. You stun it. It drops to the ground. What are you doing now? Like it felt very.
You keep taking notes, and then in a year after playing this, we can talk to the peeps over at Mothership and see if we can't get like a book deal, something. I mean, like you said, it writes itself. You just gotta
Yeah,
take the journey.
yeah. No, this has been absolutely incredible. I am thrilled, and thank you again. Thank all of you for doing this with me. Like I could not do this without you guys, and I would be not having nearly as much fun without you guys.
We love you, man.
I guess given the situation with it, I guess we could actually get more people playing and swap them out on
Yeah, I've still
Thursdays if people.
been bringing it up randomly online in different mediums, like we're talking to different people and just kind of putting out there, hey, I've got this role play thing. We'll see. I'm sure that the longer we go, just like with Vampire, we'll get more people interested and carry it through.
I hope. I certainly hope so. I hope that all the people out there who are watching her is enjoying it as much as we are, because this is just so much fun.
And like I said, even if certain games that we play or that even I do on my own on my channel don't catch, it's really more about just the enjoyment.
Hmm.
I don't care if my viewer count stays on 2. I'm having fun, you're having fun, and we're recording it for posterity, so somebody will see it.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh,
Hopefully, hopefully next time the
excuse me.
some of these maps are just so goddamn complicated. Um, hopefully next time the everybody will be able to be together and you guys can push out a little further.
Yep, that's the goal.
Although now, so who are, I guess this is kind of the last thing to take a note on. So who are you turning that over to?
Turning what over to?
The model of Cloudbank.
Well, my character has archaeology. Would that not work to start studying it?
You could, if you, so here's what I will tell you. Whoever, if you're handing it off to one of your player characters, that player character is not going to be able to be available for you next time.
All right, that's why I'm trying to figure out which character can do the most with it.
Al-
It's mechanical repair and military training.
Alternatively, you could turn it over to Arcady, but it'll take a little longer.
That was my thought initially anyway. Was to get a study on it and then a price. In case it's worth trading. So we can assume that I would have given it to him as we were coming into the Acheron.
We'll talk about that. Actually, we won't assume that. We'll actually do that on our next time. And
Sounds good.
So here's a question for you. So what are you thinking your end game is?
Me as the player or my characters?
I mean both. Like, are you as the player thinking that you need to? Are you still like on that? Fuck everybody else. I give two shits. I'm gonna escape, or are you kind of like, okay, this is a problem, and since I'm here, I should probably do something about it.
Well, and this goes mostly for me as a player, and mindset of most of my characters would be do the most good we can while we're here, but if shit hits the fan, I'm ready to cut out. Like, blow the shit to bits. Like, I don't care. We do need to save our own asses and somehow, you know, impress the blockade or pay the blockade or whatever the fuck we need to do with the blockade. And so that's why I had mentioned with any kind of credits that we find or acquire through Arcady that a portion go to Arcady to fix the ship, but a smaller portion be saved to, you know, end up bribing the. That's why I came up with that, was so that there was a safety net.
Right.
So that's kind of the overall way I'm looking at things. Like, yeah, have fun with it, explore, investigate, but if shit gets too real and they want us to bring some kind of weird android babies back with us, you can say fuck that.
Very fair. Very fair. All right. Well, I'm going to go get something to drink as it is hot as balls here.
Aw, I bet. It's still 85 degrees here.
It is not that hot here, but it is really humid.
Yeah. Well, have a good night. And thank you for
Absolutely.
a fantastic evening.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Please tell Zack that I'm sorry he wasn't here to watch his head get cut off.
Exactly. I'll see you on Monday.
We'll see you on Monday.
Thanks everybody for sticking with us tonight for Mothership. You guys will have me tomorrow for 4 o'clock Jackbox games, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. So, everybody have a good night, and we'll raid out to a friend.